Hey guys, Homo back again. Today I'm going to look at the Pixel 7 subreddit just to see how people are feeling about this phone. It's been out for 3 months now. I know I've done like a daily vlog video on this phone and a bunch of review videos. But it's going to see how a lot of normal everyday people are feeling about this phone in general. So I'm going to be reading through the subreddit, give you my reactions. And a lot of times these subreddits are full of complainers and people are not really appreciating the phone, but it is usually the place where you start to find a bunch of major bugs and errors. So it's kind of a good place as a start, just to see how everything is. So first off, I just went on one of the thread here, literally said, how is the Google Pixel 7 going for you? Is it better than the S22? Are there any bugs on it? Screen on times, general discussions, something and things like that. So first guy here says he got an average of about 5 hours of screen on time on heavy days. Apart from that, it has improved. He's able to go 1.5 days with 10 to 15% remaining on usual days. I never really understood how people go a day and a half with some of these smartphones. I guess if you turn on like extreme battery savers and all that, you can make it push that far. But on a day-to-day basis, if you're always on your phone watching YouTube, playing games and everything like that, there's no way this phone's gonna last you a day and a half. So this first statement, I mean, at least they're happy with it. But during my experience with the phone, I typically get anywhere from 3 to 4 hours of screen on time, which is fine. In theory, you don't need 8 hours of screen on time every single day. You shouldn't be staring at your phone that long anyways. But at least it seems like battery life has been improving. We'll move on to the next person. So there's a lot of users complaining about the camera lens exploding by itself, most likely from cold temperature exposure. I have been hearing about this for the last several weeks. At this point, Google is still refusing to repair these lenses, which is concerning. I actually do live in a cold area and would have been interesting to see if this issue would have impacted me. Maybe after I'm done with the OnePlus 11 and the Galaxy S23, or this time I might consider revisiting the Pixel 7 again to see if I can squeeze in a few cold months. But for now, we'll continue to track to see if Google will address these issues, or they might just wait until the Pixel 8 to fix any of the flaws they have there. I know going from the Pixel 6 to the Pixel 7, they changed the camera array and some of the materials around that. Now it is just one solid overall build, versus before it looked like it was slapped on into different pieces. So who knows, maybe the new design change is causing some issues. But for now, no support from Google. Alright, so this next person went from the Google Pixel 2 to the 7 Pro, and she absolutely hated it. She does not like the color. I do agree that the lemongrass color is better looking. These Pro model, they keep it super basic and safe. Brown, black, white. I do like the more fun color. But with Google and Apple, Samsung, all these big companies, they tend to keep the more fun looking color for their lower tier phone. And the higher end phone tends to be safer basic colors. So it seems like this person went for the Pro model to get the latest and greatest camera, the macro mode, the 30x zoom and all that, and eventually realized that she does not like these massive phones. Especially if you're coming from a 2 to a 7 Pro, it is a pretty big significant change there. So just do some research in advance, don't go crazy. Go in the store, play around with some of the phones. I know in the T-Mobile stores these days, there are a few of them that are super interactive. You can actually walk around the store with the phones. I mean, they do have the anti-theft piece attached to it, but it's like a small dongle attached to the phone. You can hold the phone, play around with it, put it in and out of your pocket. That's pretty cool. So I do like that new design there versus the phone being tied to this massive anti-theft device that when you hold it, there's so much bulk to it, you can't even tell how heavy the phone is. So I've seen at least one T-Mobile store offer that, which I do enjoy. Although the one exception I noticed is the Galaxy Z Fold 4, which is an $1,800 phone. They still have that thing chained down pretty tightly. It's pretty understandable. I don't think it's that hard for some brave soul willing to risk it all and just break one of these anti-theft devices and make a run for it. Apologies for being a cynic, but I'm always thinking worst case scenarios. But long story short, anytime you're going from a small phone to a big phone, especially if it's like 2 to 5 years since you last upgraded, it's always worth getting a sense of how big of a change is going to be on a day-to-day basis for you. So this person switched from the 7 Pro back to the regular 7, which I understand. I actually prefer the size of the regular 7. It's just easier on a day-to-day basis, one-handed use. I don't like to use cases, so it's just much more easier to handle, take in and out of the pocket. The Pro, it is massive and does take some effort to make sure you don't drop the phone. So in terms of performance, no complaints there. Phone does not get hot for her. My phone didn't get hot either for the regular Pixel 7. The Pro did get a little warm. It was never to the point that it was concerning, but it was something that I did notice. I didn't experience any scrolling bugs. Battery life is absolutely amazing. I mean, it makes sense if you come from the Pixel 2 to the 7, you will see a big upgrade there. So everything into perspective. So if you have the phone on all day, stream audio 2 to 3 hours a day. These usually don't take too much battery. Internet scrolling, surfing, few YouTube videos, and a day still get about 30-40% left. Okay, so she was basically mostly talking about the Pro model, but now that she's changing to the regular Pixel 7, I would expect similar results. Maybe you have like 10 to 20% battery at the end of the day based on the uses that she described. She still don't like the ugliness of the large oversized phone. These Reddit thread always make me chuckle, but I can see why people really love or hate the Pixel design. I do agree with the bigger phone and bigger screen, it does carry more weight. So just another thing to consider if you prefer smaller phones or bigger phones. Luckily for guys who tend to have bigger pants pocket, it's easier to carry bigger phones. But for a lot of women, they have to carry around purses, and holding a large phone is not always convenient. They tend to have smaller pockets, so a bunch of things to consider. Apologize for the loud noise in the background. Snowed yesterday, so now we got a truck driving around, clearing the roads, and also applying salt. 26 days ago, Hi America says OnePlus phone are much better minus the camera. I think I would agree with that. Just in terms of day-to-day use hardware, the super fast charging like the OnePlus 10T, which is in a similar price range, 125 watt fast charging is absolutely amazing. In less than 20 minutes, I can charge the phone from 0 to 100%. So if I ever need to go out, by the time I go get ready and change my clothes, I come back, I always got 100% battery ready to go. And just gaming on the OnePlus is fantastic. Never really have any heating issues, anything like that. So one of these days, maybe we'll get a phone with all the OnePlus specs plus the amazing Google Pixel camera. This last person that I'm gonna cover is coming from a Pixel 3, so relatively older phone. They finally changed due to loss of support and software updates. 7's okay, but they hate the fingerprint reader. Yeah, fingerprint for me, it works okay for the most part. I prefer to use the face unlock, even though it is less secure, it's just much more convenient for me. But I do understand in cases if you need to use Google Wallet or some of the bank apps, you do have to use the fingerprint. Some people experience these issues, some don't. I don't really have any tip for it. Maybe just try to re-register the same finger a few times, that might help. Maybe I'll respond to that. The fingerprint sensor is a little bit funky. Some people have lighter fingerprint than others, so that may be contributing to it. But the sensor on the Pixel 7 is actually pretty old compared to the OnePlus series. And the S22, they use the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, which is much more faster and efficient. It has bigger coverage as well. Google Pixel 7, the sensor is okay, it's slightly slower, but I never really have too many issues with it. Every now and then I had to press it a few times, but it shouldn't be that big of an issue. But like I said, maybe you have like light fingerprints or something like that, you may have issues. Sometimes I try re-registering my fingerprint a few times. Depending on the phone, you might get a little bit better luck there. But I'll just throw this suggestion in and see if it's going to be helpful or not. There you have it, guys. Just a quick video on the state of the nation for the Pixel 7. See how people feel about the phone. Let me know if you guys find these videos helpful, or if there's anything else you want me to cover. Please check out my OnePlus 10T daily vlogs if you haven't already. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.